right, let's get this. We are live. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. Get this signed up. Okay. Data attendees. Okay, we're going to give it about another minute for people to start coming in. Welcome, everybody.
Yeah. Well, hello, Hetty and Denise and Doretta.
Okay, so all right, to begin with, my name is Tim Moldenhauer. I'm one of the owners of Remax Associates here in Fayetteville. And I've been in this for about 21 years, a little over 21 years. And so I've got to see a lot of wonderful things in real estate. I started when it was like back in 03, and it was like, bonkers. It was a real high market, then rode it all the way to the bottom and then back up through COVID. Now we're in a whole nother market. So seen a lot of interesting changes. And I'm really fortunate to have my director of operations and sales manager, Melissa, here. So Melissa, tell them a little bit about yourself and your history in real estate.
Yeah, so my name is Melissa Arndt. I've been in real estate a little over 10 years now. I have, in the past, I've co-owned my own independent brokerage, and I was the principal broker there for about 5.5 years. And now I train real estate agents all day and help them to get their careers going and help them, have successful careers. And I love it.
Yeah. And she's really, really good at it. Anybody you have somebody that loves what they do and has been in the trenches and been on that side, it makes one of the best teachers out there. So I know it's here we are, it's winter, it's dark, it's 5:30. So we're going to go ahead and get this started. And let me start this presentation.
And we really would love for you guys to interact in the chat. So if you have any questions at all along the way, please just put your questions in there and we'll definitely answer them as we go.
All right, bear with me. I am backing up on these slides to get to the beginning of it. So, gotta love technology. I'm almost there. Okay, let's go ahead and hit start. And again, like Melissa said, we'd love to make this interactive. And so kind of let us know, man. Don't be shy. What has you interested in a career in real estate? I'll tell you, why I got into it. I was youngest of 3 kids with a mom in real estate, and all 3 of us kids swore it off. We have said, absolutely, we're not going to do this business. And graduated from the U of A, and basically I kind of got strong-armed. My mom just said, give me 1 year in this business. And I'll tell you, it is one of the most rewarding businesses that you can ever be in. It's really, really special. So it is really special. All right, so let me get this. Melissa, what made you go into real estate?
Well, so I also grew up with my stepmom was a real estate agent, but she got out of it around the time that they went from paper books for MLS to having everything online. But I always thought it would be really cool. And then after I had my son, we were living in Atlanta, and we decided number one, we didn't want to live in Atlanta. And number 2, I did not want to work every day. I didn't want to go back to having a real job. So we actually just made the decision to move to Northwest Arkansas with the purpose of getting into real estate.
Wow. Now that's quite a move to move halfway across the country to go into a full commission sales job. So that's very, very brave. I forgot the story about your mom in real estate. And those old paper books, I remember delivering those. So, all right, everybody, what do you think? How many sales do you think that the average agent, across North America, if you were to say, what is the average agent? How many sales do they sell per year?
Don't forget about the chat. It's over on the right-hand side of the screen.
Yeah, go ahead. Don't be shy. Yeah, we'll tell you regardless. Believe it or not, the average agent sells between 3 and 4 homes a year. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I can go at any one time into our board of realtors and look between the 4,000 agents, and there's going to be thousands that haven't sold anything. So the average ended up selling 3 to 4 a year. Yeah, it's pretty shocking, to tell you the truth. And really, I mean, and then the next thing is, which is another shocking thing, like, how much money do you think the average agent makes?
If anybody wants to put their guesses in there, feel free to do so. But I will let you know, it is kind of shocking. The average agent makes $28,000 a year, right around there. And to put that in perspective, that's the equivalent of working full time at McDonald's. Yeah. So Deanna, 300,000 annually. The average agent, no. Mm-hmm. The good news is our team, our team average is over 3 to 4 times more than the national average. So our minimum standard for our agents is 12 transactions in a year, but we actually want, we have them, our average one is actually probably higher than that. So 300,000 annually is definitely a very doable goal. I do, before we get into the next of them, because we want some interaction, what would be the one thing for everyone that would change in your personal life with a successful real estate career? Not an average one, but a successful one where you're maybe making what Deanna's talking about, that $300,000.
Yeah, that's a great question. What is the one thing that, and that's one of the main questions we'll ask, people, that agents or in our office and everything. What do you want to change? I mean, what would you like to happen in your life? Because there's few jobs like this that you really do have the opportunity to change your life, to change your family tree, to change, anything you want, because there is no ceiling. And so what we kind of see is people come into this business for 3 reasons. A, the income potential. Number 1, income potential. Number 2, because they love helping people. I mean, you serve people. And number 3, freedom of schedule. Lisa, do you mind going a little deeper into some of these?
Yeah. So of course we talked about income potential. It's actually limitless. It's just a matter of, how hard are you willing to work? Love of helping people. That's, pretty self-explanatory. The freedom of schedule. So a lot of people, they do get into it because they have the freedom of the schedule. It's just important to know that freedom of schedule doesn't mean that you work less or that you can choose not to work. What it means is you get to choose when to work. You can schedule your work around the important events in your life. But just to get you, just so you know, there is an imbalance of time when you get started. So when you first get into real estate, you're going to have to spend those first 2 years, working a lot of times over 40 hours a week. You're going to have to put in the blood, sweat, and tears. So that way you can set yourself up for the rest of your career. There is going to be ebbs and flows in real estate. So that freedom of schedule, there's going to be some times during the year that's really busy. You're going to have to work 50 to 60 hours a week. You're going to have to give more to your business during those times. You're going to have to sacrifice some of the time for the betterment of your family, but the benefits are great. And then there's the times where you don't have to, work in 40 hours a week. During the low times, you might not have to work that hard.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, like, with winter is also a real good example of it also. Here it is, it's dark, it's 5:38. And so in the summertime, we basically, a lot of times you'll show property all the way till it gets dark. I mean, it's not rare at all to be setting showings at 7 p.m. But a lot of times you actually kind of get to work a little bit less in the winter, and we'll do most of our sales through the spring and the fall area, fall seasons. So, but I tell you, let me get to this. And this is really what's interesting. People, no matter how much you tell them, nobody can really understand what this business is until you actually get into it. And so when people, what the reality of real estate is, I'll tell you this, it is not this. The world loves to portray it like this. And it may be, okay, let's say 1% is selling Sunset. That's going in the fancy homes, that's getting to go to the closing table and all that. But I promise you, the other 99% is probably a little closer to micro and dirty jobs. It's hard work, it's gritty. I mean, it's a challenge. And the other thing I'll tell you that it's not this. I've had people, I've talked to them that came into real estate and then they get out and they thought that, people would just walk in and be in a line like, hey, can you help me find a house? And you'll get some of those. We get a lot of opportunities that come into our organization, but it is definitely not this. You are actually going out every single day and hunting for real estate. You're out there working to find, the people you're going to work with. All right, Melissa, if you want to go over this, this is one of our core values, and explain kind of why we chose this.
So integrity, we really, it's one of our core values because it's about doing the right thing. It's doing the right thing, not just when people are watching you, but when people aren't watching you, or especially when people aren't watching you. So making sure you do the right thing for yourself, for your clients. If you're not doing the right thing for yourself, you don't have that self accountability, you're not going to be successful. So you need to make sure you have that integrity. And then in the middle of that, our little wordplay that we have here is the grit. So grit is something that is so necessary in real estate. It's making sure you have the grit to make it through. There's going to be a lot of, in real estate, if you're going to be successful, you're going to be making a lot of phone calls. You're going to be making outbound calls, sometimes cold calls. You're going to have tough conversations. You're going to have people that are saying not so nice things to you. Lots of hard moments in real estate, but you got to be willing to go through it no matter what to make sure that you are successful.
Yeah. You can't underestimate grit enough. Denise, that's a great question. What do you expect your first year of real estate? Melissa, do you want to kind of elaborate on that?
Yeah, so your first year in real estate, of course, it is a commission-based sale. There is a cycle for getting up to speed. So we usually say what you're doing now is going to affect your paycheck in 90 days. So getting started, we do expect that our agents aren't going to have their first commission check for 3 to 4 months. Sometimes a little longer, because a lot of times you get those leads and yeah, you're working them right now, but they might be a year out. So it might take a little while to get you up to speed. So the first year we expect, probably between 6 and 12 transactions through the course of that first year. But after that first year, you're going to be up to speed. You're going to be going. And if you want to do 12 transactions, we can get you there. But a lot of our agents, they want to do 20 transactions, and we definitely can get them there as long as they have that grit and can do the things that are necessary.
Yeah, that's a great question, Denise.
And then Deanna looks like she asked, how do you support buyers in finding the right lender to secure their dream home? So we have some lender partners that we have used in the past. We've had lots of experience in using them. We know that they're great folks. They're going to do the right things by the clients, and that's who we partner up with, and that's who we let our buyers know to contact about getting pre-approved for those loans.
And in this right here, when we talk about when you're an agent, you've got all these different tasks you've got to do. You are, if you imagine like running a restaurant, you're doing everything. And an agent, you're prospecting, you're trying to find business, you are showing homes, then you're negotiating the contracts, you've got to schedule the inspections, then you've got to coordinate all the title work, appraisals, and go to the closing. It is a lot to do when you're just the average agent on your own, and really that's kind of what we've always felt like. There's an advantage to being a team. And so what we allow our agents to do is focus only on the things that actually, create income, and all the other stuff, and so the agents are focusing on the showing and listing homes. And then the rest of the staff is handling everything else. They're handling the inspections, the signs, the marketing, and getting it to closing. So you can focus on what's most important, and that is working with the clients. And so, oh, here's a good one, Melissa. All right, so everybody put in here, what do you think the failure rate is for real estate agent? If y'all were gonna guess.
Give you guys a second to put your answers in there. Do we think it's high? Do we think it's low?
Mm-hmm. 5% failure rate. Yeah, that's a guess for sure. Yeah. High is probably a good example. Melissa, why don't you go ahead and tell them, like, the odds of actually making it through this career?
Yeah. So the reality is 87% of real estate agents fail in the first 3 years since getting into real estate. And then the sad thing is, of the people who actually make it, 78% of those are going to be that average agent who would be making more money working at McDonald's. So anyone can succeed, but not everyone will. Our goal is, we're talking about average agents a lot. I don't train average agents. We train great agents. So that's why we're able to get people where they're doing more than the average agent, because they're going to know so much more than the average agent does. We have lots of successful people. Being around successful people helps you to be successful as well. Iron sharpens iron, or whatever that saying is.
I think that's the saying. And I want to say that, you are going into a risky career if you choose this. But the same reason that it is so risky on this side is that the potential is just as high on the other side. Again, it's really special that you have complete control of everything that happens, because you get to manage what you do every day, and nobody can ever stop you or set a limit on who you are and what your value is. And so go back to, like, when you're by yourself and you're trying to do everything, it is so much. I mean, you're trying to help the clients, you're talking to title companies, you're talking to inspectors. I mean, the balls that you've got to juggle in the air when you're on your own, it's pretty difficult, And so this is kind of what it looks like when you're by yourself. And so what we've kind of made here on the team model is we want to put the client in the middle, where everybody has their jobs, where the listing coordinator is talking to the client about all the marketing, the transaction coordinator is talking to the client about getting it closed, and so everybody has their role to focus on the client, and the client is best served, and each person is doing what's in their expertise. And so that's the model we believe in, especially if you're kind of coming out of the gate and you're new. It's best to just hone your skills on what's important and actually what makes you an income. And so, Lisa, why don't you go through and kind of talk to them a little bit about what this means?
Yeah. So building a predictable business, the playbook, the secret sauce to it, we give that to all of our agents. We would love to give that to you. We don't keep anything back. We want our agents to succeed just as much as we have succeeded. We want to make it their business doesn't have to ebb and flow. We want to make a predictable business. We want to show people that if you do A, you get B and C, and if you do it consistently, you consistently get those results. So consistency is a huge thing that we teach, and that's where you're going to get that predictable business.
Yeah. And back to that predictable business, we want you to work on purpose, where you're not like reactionary, like where somebody calls you and you run out, show a house or this. We want you to be able to, time block, do your activities that generate the business at a set time. And so, and that's really what allows, our support system allows us to do. Again, like that image earlier, when you're on a team, The transaction coordinator is actually, Melissa, you might walk through this. You probably, since you're on the training side, you can explain this a little bit better than I could.
Yeah. So the support system behind the agents, the transaction coordinator, once you get something under contract, she's going to take your client and you and guide you through to the closing. So you don't have to worry about all that paperwork. Your listing coordinator, once you get a listing agreement signed, she's going to take you and your client through the listing process, getting that on the market, getting all those little details done, all that paperwork done. So you don't have to do that. The marketing department, marketing is a full-time job trying to figure out what's going on with the different trends and everything. What social media should we be using today? We have a marketing department. That's what they're going to do for you. They're going to do that marketing for you. We have coaching. So you're like, who should I listen to? Where should I go for coaching? We have that set up. We have the training set up. We have the accountability set up. We have the technology behind us that allows you to succeed at a high level in today's business.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And again, I'll keep going back to having all those things will let you focus on the most important things, which is talking to people and building relationships, showing and listing properties, and negotiating contracts. Those are the three items in real estate where a real estate agent actually earns an income. The rest is all just admin work, and we try to take that off of you. And we've had a lot of great successes. We've had a lot of successes. What would you say your favorite one is, Melissa?
I think my favorite one is going to be Regina. So Regina has been on our team for just a little over 2 years. Before she was at a different brokerage before us, didn't do a whole lot. But before she got into real estate, I think about 3 years ago, she was a waitress at Cracker Barrel for 10 years. She is on track to close over 30 transactions this year. She is going to make more this year. About over 5 times as much as she made in her most successful year at Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, I always joke with her. I'm like, imagine if you had started about 5 years earlier. She doesn't want me to remind her about that, but it's never too late. I see people, no matter how old you are. I see people in their 70s just killing it. And so really, this is a fantastic career that you can do as long as you want. One of my favorite success stories, is just because I can kind of relate, is Dane. He joined us last year in July, and he took a big risk. He had a salary job making a very good income here in Northwest Arkansas, but he had a baby coming on the way, and what he wanted to do is be able to have more free time for his family. So he quit the job, went headfirst into real estate, last July, and this year he'll make more money than he was making in his last job. He's put in the work, put in the time. And now, it's like even in October, he took 2.5 weeks of vacation. Today, he ended up having to work from home because they lost childcare, and he's able to do those things for his family. And that's something that it's hard to do in many other jobs. And so this will allow you to work kind of on your schedule, but you do have to put in the hours.
And Joe, you're right. Both Regina, that's an amazing turnaround. That's why I love talking about her so much, because it's just, she did that for so many years. I don't think she ever dreamed that she could make as much money as she's making now.
No. And one thing I tell everybody I meet, there is not you can't give me a logical reason on why you couldn't do this career. Because you're going to look around and you'll see all types of people, all shapes, sizes, colors, personalities. Everybody can do this career, because there's enough people out there untouched, and enough business of people that you can relate to, that you can make the income and the life you deserve. So those success stories are available for anybody. So, okay, Melissa, if you want to kind of go over kind of what it looks like and, that we offer here on the team.
Yeah. So our team agents, we have a ton of support for our agents, like Tim was explaining. So that way all they have to do is go out there and make phone calls, show properties, get listings, and rinse and repeat. We have an agent level program with our commission structure. So our agents can earn up to 70% of their commission. There's incentives so that the more transactions they do, the better they're going to get. Their REMAX dues are going to be covered. The only thing they require our agents to pay for is going to be their Board of Realtors membership and their license renewal. Everything else, all those other fees we cover. We have that transaction coordinator support, the listing coordinator support, the marketing support. We haven't even talked about it, but we have leads for our agents. So we have leads that are provided to them or they have the opportunity to take advantage of. We also have qualified appointments for our agents once they reach a certain level. We didn't even talk about these folks. We have 3 ISAs. So ISA is inside sales agent. There are 3 people. They're not licensed. Their full-time job, 8 hours a day, is to make phone calls and set appointments for our agents. So we have those opportunities available to them. So tons of opportunities for our agents to find people who are looking to buy or sell homes. Our agents do have the ability to work with both buyer and sellers. There are some teams out there that require them to specialize in one or the other. We want them to be well-rounded and do both. Yeah. We partner with the Reside platform, which I know you guys probably haven't heard about it, but there's some amazing team owners around the country and real estate coaches who are part of that. We are partnered with them. They provide technology and support. They provide the access to their training. So the names of these gentlemen, if you want to look them up, John Cheplak, Suneet Agarwal.
That's a difficult
I'll get it one of these days.
It always is.
He's a hilarious guy. Preston Guyett and Nick McLean. They have done amazing things. So if you look up any one of those, you'll see that it's a great opportunity to take advantage of training from these gentlemen. We have technology behind us. We have, some of the best technology in the industry with our CRM and stuff like that. You have full access to our training, to Resides training. We have a full onboarding program. We, listing signs, professional photography, all those things. And then one of my favorite things is you have the branding and the power of not only the #1 REMAX team in Arkansas, but you have REMAX behind you, which if you didn't know this, REMAX is the #1 brand in real estate in the world. You have that behind you to help you in your real estate career.
Yeah. We, again, our goal is to provide all the support, for an agent to focus on what they do best. And that's work with clients. So this is just kind of an overview. And what we really would like to be is here for if you want to go any deeper, whether you want to get in real estate now, 5 years from now, or you just have some more questions. We're here for you. If you want to set up a time, go ahead and scan this QR code. And while we're doing that, does anybody have any additional questions that they feel like they would like to have answered?
It takes us a second to see your questions, so keep asking them. We're going to see them anytime now, so put them all in there.
We're trying to get used to the 10 to 15 second delay on these webinars. So.
Are you hiring? Deanna, yes, we are hiring. We would love to talk to people about becoming a real estate agent.
And so Deanna, we're definitely hiring. Yeah, scan this, book a time on my calendar, and I'll walk you through step by step the next steps to if you want to pursue it in a good transition plan for you.
So looks like Joe's asking, can I do real estate part-time? So Tim, I'll let you take that.
It depends. We have some other agents that have other jobs, but although they have a part-time job, they are still doing this full-time on top of it. Because it's really, so if you could think you have a schedule that can allow you to do full-time effort in this, there may be a way, but it's very difficult to get true traction. It all just kind of depends on what that other job is. So again, Joe, I would say book a time. Let's figure out what you're doing, what your part-time job looks like, and we can try to develop a plan. But yeah, Melissa, do you have anything else at this point?
No, just to go over a little bit more of the training we provide to our agents. You know, a lot of times, the training you get at different places, it is a knowledge base, which means they throw a bunch of information at you. They got videos, they got things for you to read. They say, here's the information, read it, and then figure it out. We have a training program. It is a skills-based training program. So we do provide the knowledge to you, but then we take it a step further. So we like, here's the knowledge. Now, let's take that knowledge, and these are the skills that you need to be successful in real estate. So we teach you those skills, we practice those skills, you internalize those skills, and we get it so that you're mastering those skills, and then you're going out there and you're able to be at so much of a higher level than if we just gave you the knowledge and said figure it out.
Yeah, it's we're going to try to train you like they say, kind of like a professional athlete, where you're practicing the move, practicing the move, practicing the move, until when you get into the situation that you need it, it's just second nature. So again, wanted to just say thank you, everybody, for showing up. We love doing this. We love talking about how to, create a successful career in real estate. And if you need anything at all, feel free to reach out, everybody. So thank you for joining.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys.
All right, take care.